Hi, everyone, and welcome to season 3, episode 3 of High Scores, High Stakes, the podcast that slides into trouble but built kicks its way straight back out. I'm your host, as always, Mr. Luvva Luvva, and with me are my co hosts.
How are you doing, Love It? Cardinal Smith here. Great to be here. Chocolate in hand. Podcast ready to talk about. Let's go.
Let's go. How are you?
Speaking of things, podcast ready. I'm not ignoring you. I'm doing admin in the background here, but Tomahawk is fit and ready to go, guys. How are we?
Very
Good to be
well.
back.
Very well. Very well. It's good to be back, isn't it? The recording cycle continues. It continues.
The,
So,
the
yes,
high scores make machine never stops.
It never sleeps. It's dangerously becoming sentient, though. I did see Tom's
Mm.
stream from earlier in the week. It is becoming sentient, and I feel it might kill all of humanity if we allow it to continue. But anyway, high scores, high stakes. What are we? We are four friends. Um,
We are four
we are
PlayStations.
four PlayStation.
We are four PlayStations who compete against humans.
We are four friends who play PlayStation games, and every single week we pick a PlayStation game and we create a challenge in that game and we compete in that challenge in our league table. Whoever wins the challenge gets 3 points. Whoever comes second gets 2 points. Third gets 1 point. Fourth place gets no points. So the league table, as of the end of our last episode, Brawlhalla, looks like this. In fourth place with 2 points is Sherry. In third place, also on 2 points, is Cardinal. In second place on 3 points is Tomahawk. But sitting top of the table on 6 points is myself, Luvva. Easy peasy. So far in season 3, I've said it every episode. I'm going to say it again. Everyone is witnessing the single greatest title retention in sporting history. It's a beautiful
Yeah.
thing to watch. It's a beautiful thing to
Two
watch.
games. It's a bold claim to make after 2 games. Now, I mean, it could easily pan out to a Leicester City title defense
See, you
for the
say
football
this.
viewers here.
You say this, Tomahawk, but me and you have just delved into the annals of high score, high stakes history. And right now, I am on a run of challenge wins. 6 in a row. I have went unopposed by you, gentlemen,
It's too many.
since Pix the Cat in season
Oh,
2. What an episode that was,
It
by the
has.
way.
It's been.
what
It's
a
not
horrendous
when you start to
selection of
break it
games we've
down.
had. It's
That's it. You
endless.
say that because you've not been winning. But like, it's interesting you talk about statistics and going on this win and run. But when you start to break down, at the end of the day, the W is all that matters. When you start to break down the little minutiae, that they're close victories at the end of the day.
um,
But a victory is a victory. I will give you
I
credit there.
mean, the greatest philosopher of our time said, it doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile, winning is winning. And that's words to live by. It's the words I live by. A win's a win. Doesn't matter how it comes or when it comes. A win is a win, gentlemen. And right now, the only person catching W's in this podcast is me. How does that make you feel,
Don't
Colonel?
like it.
Surely it must make you feel bad. You're thinking there, you're sitting there
Give it
going,
an,
wow.
give him an inch and he takes a mile.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Drunk with power. I don't like it.
I mean,
I,
this is a
I've
stat.
seen. Look, you could call yourself the stat man all you want, but I've seen the list of games for season 3 coming up, and I just know you are not gonna be taking home the W's week in, week out.
I mean, you're saying that now, but this is week 3. The first 2 weeks, I've took the win. Pretty handy. Pretty handy. But all runs must come to an end. I'm just letting you know that I'm not going to let this run end in a whimper. It will go out in flames.
But we'll
Blazing
just
glory.
remind you when it happens.
Over and over and over again.
I have no doubt that when this run ends, you two will let the world know on social media. And speaking of social media, where can you find High Scores, High Stakes outside of this illustrious podcast? Well, folks, the easiest way to find us all over the internet is bring yourself to highscoreshighstakes.com. On top of the homepage, you will find links to all of our social medias. You'll find links to Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. Also, on the webpage is our Discord server. Now, our Discord server, we've done something rather special this week. After our impassioned discussion about Helldivers 2 last week, we have made a decision of opening up a Discord server for Helldivers 2. Basically, if you want to play Helldivers 2 with any of us or with any of our listeners, get yourself over to Discord, get yourself over to the Helldivers 2, introduce yourself, throw in your gamer tag from PlayStation or Steam, and join the fight for Super Earth. Let's spread managed
Yes.
democracy together. So if you want to play Helldivers with any of us or any of the listeners, then get yourself over to Discord. It is really kicking off on that channel. There's a fair few people, and I know Tomahawk, you were in a community game of Helldivers just before you hit the record button there.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. It was good. Just it's been good engagement as well. And I think we could surprisingly good. Why not let everyone who is sort of in this high scores, high stakes family
Yes.
get involved in that as well? It gives us a bit of airtime with the listeners, and again, it's all community building. I think it was one of the couldn't be a more perfect game for it, to be honest.
Yep. And that is the aim of our Discord channel. We're trying to build a community here. I think it'd be a good idea to open up a channel on Discord to let the listeners pose games for us as well. We would like to see this game in season 4, like to see this game in season 5, whatever it might be. Get yourself over to Discord. It is very good. And speaking of our listeners and creating a community, every week we do a poll of the week and we do a question of the week. We have done both of those things last week. Last week's question of the week was, who is your favorite video game fighting character and why? We got no responses, gentlemen. So let's hear
Oh dear.
your favorite characters in fighting games. Starting with Cardinal, our resident fighting game expert. I'm sure his answer is going to be a very deep cut, possibly from Darkstalkers 3 or something like that.
I don't know what that is. I didn't see this question go out on Twitter, or else I completely missed it.
Our
He
social
forgot.
media manager for Twitter forgot to put it out. It was on underneath the podcast.
It was on
though,
the
Spotify.
it was on the
yeah.
episode. Absolutely. Fight. My favorite character who fights,
In a
or
fighting
my favorite
game.
fighting game character.
A fighting game character, Cardinal.
Uh,
It's going to be the only
I
one he
don't
knows.
know the story of any fighting game.
My goodness gracious.
Jin, is he's a guy from
That's,
Tekken
He
that
with
is
the hair?
definitely a character, as
That is
anything.
definitely a
I
character in a
thought-
fighting game.
Because he did this flippy kick thing, the circular kick.
He does do that.
Us.
Yes, and it unleashes the fury of lightning. Tomahawk, please save a segment. Who's your favorite fighting game character, mate?
Well, I'm gonna give you two here to save Cardinal's blushes here. I went with Raiden
Okay, from
because
Mortal
who
Kombat.
does my favorite combo from him was the back B, essentially, where he just basically did a jump and push attack at you
Mhm.
and yelled nonsense, which always entertained 10-year-old Tomahawk.
Indeed.
Then is Yoshimitsu from Tekken.
From Tekken. Nice.
He's just always been my go-to. He's very rarely steered me wrong, and I was able to stand by him strongly in season 2 as well.
Yes. My favorite fighting game character is Ken Masters from Street Fighter.
Of course it is.
He is just the coolest guy on the planet. Not only is he the coolest guy on the planet, but he's also a family man. He knows what's right. He knows how to do what's right, and he's not afraid to do what's right. If it isn't Ken, I'm also going to give an honorable mention here to Dan Hibiki, also from Street Fighter. Dan is a joke character. His fireball does not leave his hand, and one of his special moves is signing an autographed picture and slamming it in his opponent's face. He's an absolute joke character, but Dan is an absolute champion in my books. And that was question of the week. Poll of the week then was, what is the best fighting game series of all time? And the 4 options were Tekken, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, and Super Smash Brothers. And the results of that poll are in.
Oh.
And it's ended in a draw. So Street Fighter drew with Super Smash Brothers. So it is now our job to break that deadlock. Cardinal, Street Fighter, or Super Smash Brothers?
Look, I want to be balanced about this and fair, but I don't own a Nintendo and I never have, and screw Nintendo because I don't
I
care.
mean,
So Street
wow.
Fighter.
Street Fighter is now winning 2-1. Tomahawk, Street Fighter, or Super Smash Brothers?
Well, I'm always in the interest of drama and suspense, so I'm going to go with Super Smash Brothers.
Oh, so it's two
Boom.
apiece. And then that brings it to me to break a deadlock. I'm going to
I know
go
what you're going to pick. It doesn't
rather
matter.
unsurprisingly with Street Fighter. So there we have it. Street Fighter is unanimously
Wow.
the greatest fighting game series of all time, according to our poll. We will have a poll of the week. We will have a question of the week. If you want to answer either of those two, hang around till the end of the episode, and that's when we'll give you the question and poll of the week. Lastly, then, whilst we're talking about the community, if anyone's listening to this or watching this, likes what we're doing in the podcast, please don't forget to follow or subscribe wherever it is you're watching or listening. And if you are feeling particularly jazzy, please leave us a review. It helps out massively. And if you know someone who might like this podcast, go ahead and tell them about it and see if we can build an even bigger community here. So that is us with our introduction, rather short this week, on point and to the point, which brings me on to our next section, Cardinal, in which you're going to tell me, what are you playing?
Look, if anything, you've nailed the transitions, but also that segment voice. Absolutely super.
I think
no
that
voice
was
setting required.
I think it was the worst one so far, you know.
Well, here. It's all those swollen stones you swallow before you do it, just to get that. What have I been playing? Because Civ 6, and it's a
Yes.
problem because we started playing it together as a season-long challenge game, and then I start up I can put it on in the background of work or something, and I just click next go, next go. Oh, one more go. I just I want to learn that
Yeah.
technology. Next go, and it's an issue. I'm not even like learning anything from it. Just have something where I click next go.
Incredible seeds.
Civ 6.
It's
It's
the
got in the
same
way
thing
of
with
my
Football
Final Fantasy
Manager as
16.
well. It's just it has that can go in the background, and you can just put in
Yes.
subconscious hours into it as well. But I know exactly what Civ 6 as well. I've done a few background runs as well.
Okay. I haven't because my job's very important and I just can't play video games. I'm doing it. But what I will say is Civilization 6 it's when we start playing it for our season long challenge. Just to let everyone know, our season long challenge this year is one big persistent game, 500 turn max on Civilization 6. We're all playing the same map. It's a winner takes it all, 12 points. If you want to see how we're getting on with that, Cardinal has been doing a rather magnificent job of editing all of our gameplay into digestible 5-minute videos. They are on our YouTube channel, so make sure you go over there and check them out if you want to see how it's been going on. But yeah, Civilization 6 is a funny one because it's not a game I would play just. I'll stick on Civilization 6, but when we start playing it for the challenge, I don't want to stop
Yeah.
playing it.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. It is fantastic.
As a group, collective,
Oh,
playing
group
the game with each
experience.
other.
Yeah,
Unreal.
definitely.
It is
Because
unreal.
we're all experiencing it together. And I think there's a lot of chaos about to happen
Mhm.
Yes,
at some point. But
Stuff's happening. Yeah, exactly.
I think as well. We're all doing slightly different things after watching Cardinal's video. I'm thinking, okay, I think I know what Tom's up to, but we will see. We will see. I think I know what Tom's game plan is. I think I know what his strategy is. I can't wait till the second episode to see Cardinal and Sherry's strategy because obviously those two didn't record the first week for the first video.
yes.
That might be a tactical choice, you know. But
No,
yeah, Civilization 6. Anything else, Cardinal?
Nope.
No, just Civilization 6. What an absolute hero. I love that. I love that.
Commitment
it's
right
hurt
there.
my time.
I love it. Well, that brings us on to you, Tomahawk. Now you're going to tell me, what are you playing?
Since we're talking about games that have hurt our play stats and play times, uh, just a quick update on what's going on the Twitchverse. I have cleared base game of Bloodborne
Ooh,
9 years later.
what a playtime that is. I don't even know how many
Yeah,
hours are in 9 years, but it's a
I
lot.
think I think from what the PlayStation 5 has told me in like this most recent edition of about 30 odd 40 hours or something
Yeah,
like that.
sounds about
But
right.
but that could be a lot of me idly standing at lamps and
It all counts, mate.
throwing wobblies at at bosses. Like, but
It all
I tell you what,
counts.
that last stretch of the game, incredible. Just even going off and doing optional stuff just to buff and get some other bits of loot and resource and stuff like that. Can't fault that game. Absolutely stunning.
It is
Give me part 2.
an absolute masterpiece. It is an absolute masterpiece. It is my game of the PlayStation 4 generation, which
Yeah,
is the
no, it
highest
was
highest praise I can
absolutely.
heap on it.
No, that's it. We've touched on it last. That was the big highlight anyway. The only other thing is taken over most of my life is Helldiver 2.
Yeah.
I can't. I just think that game is so smart. It's so clever. It just has this infinite well that they're just going to keep pumping out content, but do it so subtly and fantastic. I think I shared something on our Instagram the other day about the mech stratagem that
hmm
production has ceased due to the planet that it's being developed on
Yep.
has been taken over by automatons. So that is what's directing the war effort. So it's not so much the gameplay; it's the social media surrounding the gameplay
Yes. Yes.
is
yeah.
just as good. So
Yeah.
I'm all for it. Like her vein.
Yeah. So if anyone's listening out there who has not yet played Helldivers, the Galaxy needs you. Super Earth needs you. Get on it and let's manage democracy. Yeah, what a game it is. It is a fantastic game.
Yeah,
I think we can make a podcast about Helldivers.
just Helldivers. Yeah,
We talk
it was great though. I landed into the first game playing it earlier, and instantly the player I jumped into the lobby with, as soon as I come out of the hell pod, he got mowed down by a meteor shower.
That's right, because they've recently added like more weather effects and there are damaging ones. um,
Oh,
but yeah,
great.
it's such a great game, and as you say, the potential for that is just infinite. It could just go on forever. But we banged on about Helldivers for about 10 minutes last week. I'm conscious that we don't want to do it again, so I will push it on a wee bit. What
Yes,
I have
please.
been playing is Helldivers 2. A lot of it. I've nothing to add other than what I said last week. It's utterly fantastic. My favorite game of 2024 thus far. And the other game I've been playing is my second favorite game of 2024 so far, and that is Tomb Raider 1. Tomb Raider in the remastered, Tomb Raider remastered is fantastic. I've talked about this on a number of occasions. For the past wee while, I have been stuck in St. Francis's Folly, just continuously falling near the end of the level. I played it last night. I actually used my brain and saved whenever I did something important. So I beat that level,
Crazy.
and then I went into the Coliseum, beat it first go, absolutely no issue. What a fantastic game that is. Absolutely fantastic. And it is that type of remaster where you're playing it in the refresh graphics, but because they're not like amazing, you forget that you're playing the remastered graphics. Every now and again, you push the aisle, flick between the new and old, just to remind yourself what that game actually looked like. But I
Yeah.
am playing that game as I remember it looking in 1996, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And it's
That's
brilliant.
cool.
It is such a lovely, lovely remaster, and I wish they did more of this type of remasters rather than just completely remake it. Just give me upraised,
Just a
beautiful,
polish.
beautiful
Yeah.
graphics, and just bring it to where I thought it was when I first played the game. But it's
You're
brilliant.
playing this on the Steam Deck,
I'm
am I
playing it
right?
on the Steam Deck. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It runs
And it runs.
flawless,
Yeah, I was
flawless.
gonna say.
It is there's no taxing on it. Battery lasts for about 3 hours, 15 minutes playing Tomb Raider. So
That's handy game for that though, because I would say lost maybe that graphical change, whereas like on the handheld, you can
yeah,
kind of it has a bit more appreciation for it than
yeah,
that way.
yeah. A lot of the games on Steam Deck, especially more demanding ones, once you connect them to a monitor, you see all the wrinkles and all the not so great looking aspects of it. But on the 7-inch screen, everything looks brilliant,
Yeah.
regardless of what the graphical level is. But yeah, Tomb Raider remastered. If you haven't bought it, buy it because it's fantastic and it's filthy, filthy cheap. And there's a lot of game on that. A lot of game on that. And speaking of having
I love this Tomb Raider.
a lot of games, shall we talk about the most important game we've been playing this week? and that is our challenge game. I think we should.
Let's hit it.
Right, our challenge game for this week, gentlemen, is a bit of a doozy. Actually, I quite like this one, not gonna lie. It is Bulletstorm, full clip edition. The challenge is, well, let's get out of the way. It is a double week, a double points week. So we have broke this challenge up into 2 modes. So our challenge is the first level, the beach, on Echoes mode. Echoes mode, for those who don't know, is it takes little chunks of the main game and turns it into score attack mode. So we're playing through the beach, and we're going to give points for the highest scores. So there'll be a top score, second score, third score, fourth score, and we're also going to go into time as well. How the fastest time will get 3 points. The slowest time will get 0 points. So it is a double game week, because I feel as if you gentlemen need all the help you can get to catch
Here
me
it is.
up in
There
the
it is.
league.
And
You thought,
there it is.
you guys thought, these blood has been nice for about 10 minutes now. It comes to an end here. This is the challenge, all right? We are mates. You'll always
Yeah,
be
yeah.
my friends. But when it comes to playing games and our challenges, you are my enemies. And the sooner you realize this, the better for yourselves and your sanities and your position in the league table. So, double game week. Before we get into the gameplay, we have done a running order for this thing as well. So I wanted to do a random generator. Tom wanted to do let's go in the order of last week's challenge. And funnily enough, the random wheel give us the order in which we finished the last challenge. So the running order for tonight is going to be Tom, then Sherry, then Cardinal, then myself. The odds were against us, but here we are. It is wonderful. So, Bulletstorm, gentlemen, tell me, have you ever played Bulletstorm before? If so, what were your feelings on the game when you first played it?
I'm
Cardinal.
gonna field this one.
Oh, Tom
No,
first. Go on ahead, Tom.
no, I'm gonna
Well,
go first.
I mean, I'm just the
Tom,
host. Who
take
cares
it,
what I
take it.
say?
I'm just gonna jump the gun on this. I actually remember I had this at 360, and I think this game, I was class. It was just something a bit different. It was like Gears of War met Call of Duty with this kind of future vibe.
Like steampunk
Just
future, yeah.
it was really different, and just now that I went back and did the challenge, a little too different for my from a control mechanism perspective purely. But what a game it was, and
Oh,
it was just chaos, and it was the scoring system, even in the main story, just you just did it, and stuff came up on the screen, and you felt like you were achieving something.
yeah.
Really.
Yes. It's a fantastic game. I, like you, owned it and played it on the 360, and I played the life clean out of it because, as you say, it was like this really beautiful mix between like Gears of War and like a first person shooter, like one of those like really weird double A shooters like Fracture or Legendary and stuff like that. It was just a really good looking game. The thing that stands out about me about Bulletstorm is the story. The story is utterly bonkers, but in a really good way. The story is fantastic.
I don't remember it massively. You have some sort of cyborg buddy of yours, but he doesn't like that he's your buddy.
No,
But you just get on along. You have to just get along and get to the end of the mission.
just get off. Yeah, it's such a fantastic game, and just some of the set pieces and stuff on it. Do you remember the level where you had to go through like the garden and all the plants are trying to kill you and things
Yeah.
like that? And the voice acting in it is just incredible. It's a great looking game. It still looks really good. I think it was Unreal Engine 3. I think it might have been the first game to use Unreal Engine 3 as well on
Okay.
the Xbox 360. It has its foibles now.
Oh God,
Sticking in geometry and stuff is prevalent throughout it. But it's a great looking game, great sounding game. It was a game that didn't take itself too seriously. It's like a proper people can fly game. Where yes, very like mechanically sound. Yes, it was a very good game, but it didn't take itself. It wasn't po-faced. One of my memories of the first level is you are going through your spaceship, gets attacked, and begins crashing. But you have to get off the ship. But the first door you try to go through, it takes a wee pop at the Xbox 360 red ring of death. So it has the green lights in the middle, four of them. You try to open it, one of them goes out, and the R3 turn red and just starts flashing. It's
Oh,
just utterly. I
brilliant.
don't know how they got away with that, but unreal game. I love it. I absolutely love it. I was very excited when you posited the idea of putting it in season 3. I was very excited. What about you, Cardinal? Is this your first time playing it, or have you ever played it?
So I have never played it before. I wasn't really aware of it, which is fine. And so picked it up on PS Plus. I went straight into this Echo kind of free play mode. Didn't know what was going on, so immediately hit YouTube to watch someone else play it. It's like, oh,
The
what's
get
this?
good strategy, yeah.
Yeah.
What's this leash thing, and what is going on? But watching someone else play it was crazy. I'm excited to see what you guys did because the amount of like over the top sprint sliding and stuff on the screen, information with numbers
Yes.
popping up everywhere and types of kills and shooting.
But that's the same thing even with the
It's
story
mad.
mode as well. You get the
Skill shots.
your skill shots and your combos and stuff. That's proficient and prevalent right through
Mm-hmm.
the campaign. It's not so much just for that Echoes mode as well. So it's an interesting, like, that metric carries through all game modes as well, which
Yeah.
doesn't really happen in very many other FPSs as a
No,
whole, really.
no, it's really old school like arcade thing, and it becomes really
Uh-huh.
it becomes like,
Yeah.
and it is the hook that gets you. It's kind of like, when you play Borderlands, when you're shooting at someone, the numbers appear above their head, and every time you upgrade your weapon, those numbers get bigger, and that's the hook. In Bulletstorm, the hook is what score can you get on this run, and the game will take pops at you as well. If I remember correctly, if you do the same skill shots over and over again, your buddy will start slabbering to you.
He'll kind of just basically say, "Oh, look at that one trick pony," or, maybe try something down. Like, they'll goad you into learning
trying
new
new
bits.
things, and
Yeah.
it's just a fantastic game. But yeah, Bulletstorm. Shall we get into our first run? Um,
Let's
Bullets,
do
Let's
it.
do it.
Bulletstorm. Can't wait. Let's go.
Storming.
Yeah, so this is it, our challenge game. So Bulletstorm, Echoes mode, the beach. Um, we're taking 2 metrics here: Tomahawk, high score, and speed through the level. So this is your run. I'm going to pass the mic to you, and I'm going to let you talk through what your sort of strategy was, what your plans were, and how well you executed said strategy and plans. So without any further ado, Cardinal, please hit that play button, sir.
So in terms of like executing, I don't know how well I did that. My first thought was, oh, it's going to be L3 to sprint. No, it's not. It's X to sprint.
It took me ages to figure out how to run this game because it should be L3. Just if people can fly are listening,
That's it.
it should be L3. Or
Now, after a few runs of this, I realized that the best mode of getting quick kills and high damage is just to lasso the guys and kick them straight into the cactuses and get a couple of points and get your bullet kicks in as well. Because bullets, I realize, despite the game being called Bulletstorm, bullets are the least damaging item in this entire game.
yes, but what I'm noticing there from the very start is you were continuously lassoing them and then kicking them into the cactus. So when you do a new uh, skill kill, you get 250 points per kill. Once you do it again, the points you get for that skill drop.
That's it. No, the game rewards variation big time now. But the first section's cleared. I realized as well that pulse in the lasso attack only has 2 or 3.
3 charges, I think. Yeah, you only use it 3
So
times.
you have to time it pretty well and how you want. I think in here, I think I missed the chance to do it, but
Yeah, big
I think I
time.
made up for. I've made up for it to kind of just get a few headshots, and I think at this point I was like, get it in for time and see what we can do here because I've just bagged a bit of environmental kills.
Yeah, gag reflex there. I think you get that for shooting someone in the neck.
That's it, but it doesn't. I think it still takes a while for them to kill, or at least it takes a good long time to register that as a kill.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
one thing I noticed about this is sometimes you don't get credit for a skill kill at all. The game just won't register it sometimes, which was annoying. Doesn't happen very often, but it happened enough for me to notice it and for it to annoy me sometimes. Like, oh,
yeah.
come on. But yeah, you have obviously forgotten another mechanic as well, Tom, because I haven't seen you use it. If you push R1, he charges the gun and it turns it into like a spread shot.
That's it. I did it at the very end there just to get the 2 because the stasis that they go into holds them in that position for, or what I realized was far too long. And as I say, the bullets do so little damage, you nearly have to wait for them to hit the ground. And then I just thought, charge it, get the shotgun, kill them both in one go. And that was all she wrote, really.
Yeah, that
I will say one thing just before we did. There was a lot where I thought to myself, oh, I can maybe cut corners and do a bit of stair skating. No.
no.
The texture setups in this game it has aged pretty poorly.
Yeah,
The amount of times in previous runs I was getting caught in the environment, or I'd get caught on like the railing or the stair. Cutting corners in this game is absolutely impossible. So there was a lot of times where I found myself circling, doing the sort of big swoop around the stairs, and going right. You're shit. It's marginal, really, but it was annoying and feel as if the sprint function was not being able to be utilized as well as it hoped.
yeah, it is quite annoying. It is Unreal Engine 3 though. That happens all the time. Gears of War, your character gets stuck on corners and stuff like that. It happens all the time
Yeah.
here. There's no jump button here either, which also limits this sort of amount of skipping you
Yeah.
can do in it. But yeah, no, that's the end of your run, mate. Not a bad run at all, to be honest. Your final score there is 6,360. And your time, then, your completion time is 2 minutes, 24 seconds. So here's the good news. Right now, you
I'm
are
getting 6
you're
points,
getting
baby.
6 points here. You are top for skill kills and you are top for time. Will it stay that way? Well, there's 3 more runs. I don't know the answer to that because I don't know what Cardinal's done and I don't know what Sherry has done. But before we find out what Sherry has done, because his run is next, we're going to go to everyone's favorite section, the latest, greatest, bestest game show on the internet. It is, of course, Name That Game. So we'll get there now.
All right, so here we are. The next segment is Name That Game. The famous show that you definitely know. Do you understand the ask of the task? Well, let me tell you. I read a review from Amazon, and our Amazon contestants here, amazing contestants, have to guess the game. What is the name of said game? If they do so within the various clues allowed afterwards, they get a point. And how do things look so far? Well, we've only played one round, and it is 2-0 to Luvva. Well done, Luvva.
Just picking up these W's each and every week.
Two,
Not gonna
two
lie.
L's make a W.
Not gonna lie, Cardinal. I have hosted this game for about, I think this is week 22 now of this game. And after that description of it, I don't think I understand it anymore. But
If
anyway.
anything, we're further from what that game could be now.
But anyway, what is game number 1,
Well,
Cardinal?
let me tell you, here is the first review. Play along at home. So, they wasted the villain, reducing him to a bit part player. Story was elongated to a degree that it's lost its way. I find myself integrating with too many NPC friends so that they can merge and you can't connect with any of them. The son of the villain was a waste too. Pros? Fun sandbox with 90 hours of fun. Good water graphics. Tanks. Map size was one of the biggest play areas ever. Cons? Barely any interactions with the main antagonist to connect that that have real impact. Long needless story. Too many NPC job giving to digest. Some parts of map are lifeless, so vast You will end up missing many secrets and Easter eggs that otherwise you could find naturally. People, listeners, citizens of Super Earth, name that game.
There's a lot in that.
That was a lot.
Yes, and the English progressively got worse
It
further down the
did.
review.
It sounded like AI wrote that review and then just went, "Nah, I'm alright."
I don't know. I'm just a large language model. I have no idea how to describe this game, but I'm going to hazard a guess. There's a lot to take in that, and I'm going to say Far Cry 4.
The villain
That
and the
is-
sun.
What was that, Tom?
It is not
Is it-
Far Cry 4.
Is it Far Cry 6?
Tomahawk, you're off the board straight in. It is Far Cry 6.
So close.
Yeah.
The only
NPC
reason I thought that it was just like, it's the cover where you have
Yes.
Giancarlo Esposito. He has his hands, shoulders.
Well done.
Yeah. Well done. Well done, Tomahawk.
And then I've only ever played the intro.
I've
There's a lot of tanks.
It's Far Cry. No. We all have no
Yeah.
feelings.
I actually had time off work for a while after I finished studying, and I played 3, 4, and 5, completed.
Oh my god!
Right, just finished them. I thought I'm just gonna play through the stories. Bam, bam, bam. Did them all. Then Far Cry 6 came out. Got it. That's free everywhere.
It's too
Couldn't
big.
connect with it. I didn't couldn't get
I
into
don't know.
it.
I
So,
think when those
is
games have
huge.
to, they feel like they have to top themselves each time and get bigger and bigger and bigger. I think it gets to sometimes the game is too big, and it just bogs you
Yeah.
down.
I mean,
Really, but
when Cardinal said he played through Far Cry 3, 4, and 5, he could have saved himself a lot of time, just played through 3, because they're all exactly the same game.
I mean, there's that.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I was really good at the mechanics by 5.
Does that mean if they're all the same game, does Luvva technically get a point?
I win. Yay. I just knew it was a Far Cry game. But anyway, yeah. Well done,
That's-
Tomahawk.
I'll take
Well,
that
suppose.
first try. Right, let's hear game number 2, Cardinal. What have we got for us?
Oh, do we not?
No, we're not
we not
going
go
to
straight
game
into
number
it?
2,
No.
Tomahawk. This is why I'm the host. Between
Yeah,
Cardinal's
that's it.
inability to explain simple game shows and your inability to follow the show notes and the schedule, we're not going to go to game number 2. What we are going to do is we're going to go to Sherry's run. So let's go there now. Oh, wait. We can't.
No.
Because Sherry,
What happened?
Sherry played the game, but Sherry gone and forgot to upload his run. So we have no visuals for it. What we do have, though, well, that's a lie. What I have, because he comes straight to the boss, and he has given me his score and his time for his run, and he has assured me he will upload it in due course. But I mean, where's the point now, Sherry? It's too late. You've missed it. But anyway, I can also confirm that this run was done before the deadline, and he's not cheated us and played it tonight. So Sherry's score in Echoes mode was 5,025, which really isn't bad at all.
For his one and done approach, I think that's pretty.
It's not bad. It's
Pretty
really
good.
respectable, yeah. And his time was 2 minutes 43 seconds. Again,
Ooh.
not bad at all. Not bad at
Very
all.
good.
Not
Well,
too
that's
far
it.
away from Tom. I would
It's not
love,
bad, especially
It's not.
given that the average time that I think the game gives you is 4 minutes.
4 minutes, yep. 4
not
minutes
bad at
before
all.
it just cuts you off and says, bad luck, try again.
Yeah.
It's very generous. It's a very generous time limit as well, so it is. But yeah, so Sherry hasn't uploaded his video. We have no visuals to show you. We would love to show you, but all we can talk about is his score and his time. So right now, Tomahawk, you're still winning this challenge in both score and time. So who knows? You're one step closer to 6 points. But let's see if you're one step
Mm-hmm.
closer to 2 points in Name That Game Game 2. Go on ahead, Cardinal.
Nice and quick. Round 2. Here's the review. Nice story. Lags doesn't flow between chapters. The graphics remind me of early PS3 games, which is disappointing. Glitches badly, even after all the updates have been downloaded. Nowhere near the skill and quality of Naughty Dog. I think we should have waited another 3 years for them to get this right. Even the script writing is unrealistic.
Read the first sentence for me again.
Nice story. Lags doesn't flow between chapters.
Lags doesn't flow.
I'm reading the review,
What
and now
does
it's over to you.
what
Can we
to-
put that in a
that
can we put that in a
mean?
high scores, high stakes T-shirt? Something
Lags doesn't flow.
between chapters.
What does that
That
even
guy on Amazon.
mean?
If you're listening, Amazon reviewer, please go to the comments and let me know.
Yes, if you're listening, please. Cardinal, you would do me a favor. Just read that one more time for me, mate. Because
I
I
really
was
need to hear that again.
trying to comprehend what that first line meant, and I sort of missed a lot of the.
Yeah,
Please reread
the
it,
teacher
please.
and you got stuck on the grammar.
Yes.
Let's see. I don't even know what. Let me try.
I mean, there's not an awful lot in there.
Lags is an autocorrect.
It could be.
It is.
Or
Okay. Or it's just.
yeah.
All right. So this review is from Ripley on Amazon,
Oh,
and here's.
We're just gonna
how it
call them
goes.
out now, okay?
I mean, Ripley.
Well, the
What you
bad
playing
grammar
at,
gets
mate?
called out on this podcast. Nice story, comma. Lags doesn't flow between chapters. Definitely an autocorrect issue there. The graphics remind me of early PS3 games, which is disappointing. Glitches badly even after all the updates have been downloaded. Nowhere near the skill and quality of Naughty Dog. I think we should have waited another 3 years for them to get this right. Even the script writing was unrealistic.
Okay, I am going to hazard a guess here. Based on nothing, is it Shenmue 3?
Do you know that's a real quality guess that I would expect from Luvva, and it's not?
This is gonna be a bit of a shot in the dark, but it's even with the patches, the game still lags and is a bit broken, and probably should have waited another 3 years. Is it Lord of the Rings Gollum? And I have a feeling we may have already used this in a previous episode.
It's not.
That's okay.
It's not Gollum, and it's nowhere near that level.
Because that game is pretty bad.
It is, yeah.
I think rather than 3 years, I think it's just delete it and
Mm-hmm.
just
Oh god,
just start again.
Yeah, that's an absolutely brutal review, Cardinal. What is clue number 1, mate?
Okay, clue number 1 is I think I have to give you this. It's an immersive open world action RPG.
Oh,
Oh, that
is
doesn't
it
narrow it down at all.
Deliverance
There's
Kingdom
only a couple
Come?
of those, right?
Deliverance Kingdom Come.
Oh, interesting. It's not that. That's an
Oh.
interesting game. Criticized heavily for its lead director, but great game.
Is it? Sure. I was gonna say, is it Shadow of Mordor? I'm sticking with the Lord of the Rings vibe
You really
here.
are. Lord of the Rings. That's going to be your season 3.
I'm
This is-
I'm gonna pigeonhole it now.
It is not Shadow of
Ah.
Mordor. Unfortunately.
Running out of Lord of the Rings games now.
See, the thing is, right? The only thing I'm running off here is that sentence. We should have waited 3 more years. And that makes me think that this game was a heavily delayed game. Go on ahead, Cardinal. Clue number 2, mate.
Okay. It was developed by Avalanche Software.
Just Cause 4.
Nice though.
Only for the fact that I don't know Avalanche, and it served me well in the previous guess. Is it Just Cause 3?
It is not. It's not. It's a great guess. I'll give you as a final clue.
Yeah.
Right. It's Avalanche Software. It was
An immersive open world.
immersive sort of open world action RPG, and it was released in 2023.
Action RPG released in 2023. It's not very good, or maybe very good. Just this guy doesn't understand it. I don't know.
There's only a handful of games we played and were actually released
in 2023. Yeah, it's a blind spot for us. One of the best years in gaming. We played about 2 games each that released in 2023.
You know what?
Here we are.
I don't know. I'm going to go with the only game, one of the very few games that I actually played in that was 2023, and I'm going to harken back to our Christmas episode or our New Year's episode. I'm just going to put a blind stab at this. It's not Hogwarts Legacy or anything, is it?
No, that was Keystone.
It is Hogwarts Legacy. Congratulations, Tom.
What a
Ripley.
blind.
Hold on a minute.
Ripley gave this a 30. Developed by Avalanche Software and published by Warner Brothers under its Portkey Games label. Before Luvva starts. This was a 3 stars out of 5, and the title of the review was PS3 graphics.
What?
For Hogwarts Legacy.
What version was he reviewing? Was he reviewing the Switch by any chance?
Because this was a verified purchase of Hogwarts Legacy PS4.
Well, that's why.
And that's of course why it's been dumbed down.
I had no idea that was made by Avalanche.
No, not with a. I figured I went with the our game of the year based on what we released last year, and there was only 4 games to pick from, and I knew it wasn't going to be Sea of Stars. I knew it wasn't going to be. It wasn't going to be your Lord of the Rings Moria game, and it definitely wasn't going to be Street Fighter 6. So.
No, definitely not. Although that is incredible. I had no idea that was Avalanche. None. I thought it was Portkey or whatever. But
so
yeah,
my piece of nonsense gaming retention there has paid off in some dividends.
It has. And
speaking the game too.
Speaking of paying off, you are currently leading the way in our challenge game. But let's see if you can hold off the charge from Cardinal Smith. Let's get into Cardinal Smith's Bulletstorm run. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so as I said in the link to this one, Tomahawk is still leading the way in this one. Not going to lie to you, Cardinal. I need you to up your game. I need you to beat Tomahawk in both respects because I'm going to win this challenge and I need as much of a gap between you boys as I can possibly get. So I need you to start robbing each other of points. So without any further ado, Cardinal, hit the play button and see if you're going to rob Tomahawk at some points here. I mean, someone's got to do it, right?
Someone's got to do it. But let me tell you, I was telling you that I haven't played this game before.
Yes.
And I played it once, and this was actually the second run I played after watching a YouTube video of someone else playing it. And for some reason, this was my best run.
I mean, to be fair,
I repeated it.
You've done 3 kills, and you've got 3 unique kills. So that is really rifling your points clean up there. You're already on 1,200 points. Whereas Tomahawk was just kicking everyone into the cactuses.
Well, he got a bit cactus there, but I had to shoot him in the crotch. This is where I maybe didn't pay much attention to the fact that bullets don't do anything.
That's it. It's crazy how little they do. They just merely push the player out to another area of the map. Basically, you're just there to guide them.
Yeah, and you're taking some time there to take any weapon or to look at any weapon.
I don't know what that is. I didn't know what it was.
It's this shop, basically.
Oh, right. I got to here, wondered why the door didn't open, so this cost me a bit of time.
There's still an enemy. You've missed one. You've missed
So
this
this
guy
guy should
here.
know some. I don't even know who he is.
That's your
The
mate.
problem is though they seem to be locked in their own little quadrant as well. So either that they don't leave that, or it takes them an eternity to get towards the player as well. So you're left waiting.
Yeah, it's weird. The aggro works really weird in this game. Sometimes they'll run straight at you. Other times they'll run around you. The AI is weird. I think it's just a product of the time, isn't it?
That's it. It's just an age on the game really more than. But Cardinal seems to have adopted the spray and pray approach for the second section. Really,
I mean, to be fair, there is a skill for emptying a full clip into one enemy. You just got it there. It's called full throttle. If you empty the full clip into one enemy, you'll get that, and it's worth like hefty. I think it's 350 points there, wasn't it? It is a good skill kill to use, so it is. And you've got that's your
There's
second
gag
reflex.
reflex.
That's by shooting them and killing them by shooting them in the neck. I got that
One thing it doesn't
once.
go for me here is I didn't know how to slide.
Double tap
So
X.
it's
find
the
that
X
out
that
after.
kills me on that one as
And
well.
then here's me getting
Yeah.
caught by the environment.
Yes.
Like trying to get along and down these stairs, and everything seems to catch and stop me.
Just in case you didn't know you're playing Unreal Engine 3, you get stuck on everything.
Yeah.
So we're dispatching this last little bunch of
Really.
enemies pretty handily there. But what I will notice here is we've just elapsed beyond Sherry's time.
Yeah.
So we're sitting in third.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's the end of the run there. So it is. Again, really.
Wait a second. That isn't my highest score.
Have we uploaded the wrong run?
Oh no!
Oh no!
Look, it says previous high score 5250.
Oh, now we have controversy here. Oh dear. Right.
No.
Oh dear, Cardinal, you've uploaded the wrong video.
Oh my days!
Nice.
This is why we check what we upload. Or I didn't check.
That's incredible scenes.
Cruel.
I don't know how to proceed here because technically we should use your submitted run, shouldn't we?
Got to.
Like in a fair world, yes.
But this is high score, high stakes.
This is very uncharted territory for us.
This has never happened before. I don't know how to proceed. I think this is going to take some deliberation from me, from us as a group.
Before we come to a decision, have you uploaded multiple runs, or did you very much do a?
No. This is
one. Okay.
I thought I was recording the run where I got the score.
Okay.
There is
dear.
no footage
Right.
of this 5250.
I know what Cardinal wants us to do, but
Well,
in the name of fairness, what do we do here, Tom?
As cruel as it sounds, we'll have to go with what we've watched.
We have to set a precedent, don't we? Just in case this happens again. I think
Is Cardinal Smith our sacrificial lamb in this situation? Then
I think it has to be this, doesn't it? It's the submitted run.
yeah.
Oh dear.
It's the submitted run. I mean, if you think about it, let's treat this like it was the National Lottery. If Cardinal Smith went into a shop, picked his numbers, went to the till, went to buy the lotto ticket, but realized he left his wallet at home, went back home, got his wallet, and then went back to the shop. By the time he got there, the lotto had closed for the night. If his numbers get picked out, does he win the jackpot? No, because he didn't buy the right ticket. Cardinal, unfortunately, I think we're going to have to take this score, which seems needlessly and brutally cruel, but it is the run you submitted. This is why it's super important to check your work.
Check your work, folks. Test your code. Check your work.
Children, any
read over your essays.
Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put an asterisk on the score, and when we post the results on next week, I'm going to
Asterisk
I'm
it.
gonna put a big asterisk on that one for you then.
Silly Cardinal. Cardinal Silly Smith. What have you done? You've just
And
Because it's
if
very
sorry,
interesting because
family.
what it's done is it's put you at the root of the table
yeah. And,
in this regard.
and the best part is I can see your high score, and it is better than Sherry's. It's better than
Yeah.
Sherry's.
So it's a
Yes.
point. What it's done is guaranteed you probably a point,
No,
but you've
No, it
yeah, there
hasn't.
we are.
because his scores, submitted scores, lower than Sherry's, and his time
But
is.
this is it. Yeah, had we checked our work, had we fact checked, we could have ended up with at least a point.
Yes, always check your work. Any kids listening to this
Yeah.
who are going into exams relatively soon, always check
Cardinal
your
Smith is
answers.
setting a bit of a trend in season 3 here.
Eh,
He's done 2 high scores, high stakes firsts.
yes, incredible. That is another stat for the stat-driven episode. But speaking of stat-driven episodes, Tomahawk has tied things up in Name That Game, but I believe we have one more game in which we have to name. So I think we should get there before we see my run. And let's get there now, Cardinal.
Well, back in the Name That Game, if I could even continue to speak on this podcast.
It's a good thing this game show is called Name That Game, not Record That Game.
What a...
Jesus.
I was just saying over that when I got stuck at the gate there, I was like, that didn't happen in my run. I don't remember. See, it was all a surprise to me. Because it was the wrong one. Anyway, sorry folks. Right, these are tied to 2 in this. This one might separate the chaff from the chaff grenade. Here is the grenade. Sorry, the review. I first played this game back on PS3, and it immediately became one of my favorite games ever. I understand the controversy around the pricing of this remaster, but I couldn't resist the pull to play this game again. I bought a PS5 specifically for it. The PS5 version looks beautiful, especially on my 65-inch Ambilight TV with the lights out. I won't go into the details about the story of the game, but it feels like the AI has been tweaked and the DualSense adds to the experience. I've read and watched critical reviews of this remaster, and I understand some of them, but feel like they're nitpicking. I can overlook a few minor nitpicks. Gentlemen, nitpick your way to another point.
The Last of Us, Part 1.
That
Who did
was
I
going
give
to be
that
my
point
guess
to?
as well
I know.
because
I know it was because if I get
PS3
in there first.
Did you
that
just
is the
say?
rules.
I thought Tom said The Last of Us, and I thought Luvva said Part 1.
No.
No, Luvva went the whole hog because that pretty much ticks every box. PS3, the remaster price, and PS5. Yeah, no, it is The Last of Us Part 1 because that was pretty much where I was going to go with that guess as well.
So that is the right answer.
Ah.
After all of the last season, it's Luvva gets the point for saying The Last of Us.
Hey,
No,
I love it. I love it. I've lived for this moment. I
short and
live
sweet. That's what that was.
These are the moments when I'm lying on my deathbed and my grandkids come in and go, Granddad, what was the best thing ever happened to you? And I was like, well, there was this one time. My friend Tomahawk would say Last of Us every week in the podcast. And I said it once. And I got one more point than Tom ever did. And I was like, excuse me, I must die now.
You're like the way the end of
Times.
Interstellar was with death. Then he just goes, "I have to go now."
Ugh.
Fabulous.
So, so what's the score so far this season for Name That Game, Cardinal? Then
So far we have Luvva on 3 and Tomahawk on 2.
brilliant. For those who stuck around to the very tail end of the last episode, I did put a little outtake in the end, and it was me telling these gentlemen that after 1 week of me playing Name That Game, all 3 games got named, and that is the way the game should be played. And here we are. I have inspired Tomahawk with my unbridled knowledge of video games. He's obviously done some research this week. And yet again, for the first time in Name That Game history, 2 weeks have passed. All 3 games have been named. Well done, Tomahawk. You don't
We're
have
doing
to.
all right, actually.
You don't have to thank me for making you a better man, a better podcast host. But I do expect that to happen at some point.
Oh, that's it. This
Mm.
with great power, all that jazz.
Yes, indeed. But anyway, speaking of great power, we are going to the powerhouse of this
Oh,
podcast.
here he is.
Mr. 6 in a row. Can I make it 7 in a row by beating these scrubs at Bulletstorm? There's only one way to find out, and that's by going back to our challenge game. Let's get there, boys. And here we are, the dramatic climax of our Bulletstorm Echoes mode challenge. This is me, so you know it's going to be good. I mean, everyone knows it's going to be good. That's all it needs to be said. I'm going to watch this in complete and utter silence. Are you ready for the finest 2 minutes in podcast history, folks? Take off your AirPods, your earbuds, your headphones, sit back and watch greatness. This is what Sony wanted when they designed the PlayStation. This is what Sony gets. Pure and utter greatness. Cardinal, whenever you're ready, hit that play button. For the record, I'm not actually going to sit here in silence. I'm going to talk us through it. So this is one of my numerous fantastic runs in this game, and you'll see I go for the variety. It is like a box of chocolates. These bad guys just don't know what they're going to get. A gory, brutal death is what they're going to get, and they're going to get it
Oh,
fast, and justice will be dispensed repeatedly on them. Go on ahead, Tomahawk.
what was very impressive there is that you went for the boosted slide and missed both of them, and
Yeah.
just
That happens sometimes. I mean, you can't win them all unless you're Luvva, and that misslide.
greatness is stifled. Yeah.
I was gonna pull a wee card moment. Hold on, this isn't my run. But it is one of my runs. There is a skill kill for getting them in that fire in the tank. I think it's called barbecued or something along those lines. But yeah, I really struggled this part. I don't know why, because usually I just
The environmental element seems to be letting you down big time. Like you're sort of pushing and pulling those explosive barrels, and it's looking a bit janky to say the least. But
yes. It wasn't great, to be fair. I did struggle that bit.
oh, it was lovely.
Yeah, you just need to time your shots, so you do, and just
That's interesting. Just seeing the score there. So that's got like obviously the multiplier for the X-ray kill there, but it's penalized you for the second kill despite it being
at the same
basically a 2 in
time.
1.
Yeah,
Yeah, which is a bit seems unfair, but obviously it's just how Epic and Games to Fly have wanted to work this then.
yeah, and you'll see there what I tried to do there was try to corral all the enemies. It wasn't fast, but try to corral them so I can get the one environmental kill. Because obviously, if you get 4 more, then it boosts your score again. And this guy, I don't know how that guy survived, but he did. But here we are,
Oh,
2 minutes
I
in.
think he triggers once you're sort of in eye line or once you're closer to the gate, he kind of pops up at that moment. So
No,
it's
he's the one on the outside of the wall just when you're outside. So he does. You can kill him before you go in. That's the only run I
oh,
ever
okay.
did where he was alive when I got there. But watch this here. This is called playing the AI. But yeah,
oh, triple kill.
it's a double.
Was it?
Yeah, with the other guy, he's still
Yeah,
alive.
just kind of like hiding under the stairs there. So he kind of didn't aggro the stairs. He's ended up just kind of hiding underneath there. But another headshot then to
to
finish
finish
off.
off. Yeah. So this one wasn't my best run, but it was still a very, very, very good run. So my score then to end up was 6,635, and my time was 2 minutes and 39 seconds. And that brings us to the end of our Bulletstorm challenge. So I think we should just discuss what this does for the league and discuss our final thoughts on Bulletstorm. So let's get there now, gentlemen. The shooting is done. The discussion must commence. So that is it. Another challenge done and dusted. Another victory to go on the Luvva mantelpiece. The trophy is in the post, I'm sure, boys. And that brings my winning run from 6 to 7, which is undoubtedly the longest winning streak in High Scores High Stakes history. It is unprecedented form. It is a purple patch. It is showing that class is permanent. Form
Somebody
is
stop him.
temporary. But yes, before we get into what it does for the league table and stuff like that, before we break down the scores of who gets what, where that does in the league, let's get our final thoughts together on Bulletstorm. Cardinal, I'm really interested to get your opinion on it. This is the first time you've played it. You've done a couple of runs. You've played a very limited part of the game. What were your thoughts on Bulletstorm after playing it?
I played it like 10 times, and I couldn't get higher than that score that I didn't post.
Yeah, whoops.
Do you know what? I would have liked it in 2007, where I thought it belonged.
Wow.
Wait, 4
because
years before it was released,
because
Wow, that's disrespectful.
like Ripley on Amazon, I would review it as PS3 graphics. But I did like the sort of, it like harked back to a more arcadey but sort of naughty first person shooter craziness.
Yeah.
You know, where you had Unreal Tournament go
Yes,
kill, but it was
yes.
just like
yeah.
environment kill, this kill, shoot him in the neck, shoot him in the nuts.
Yeah.
Craziness. But beyond that, I don't know. I still don't know much about it. Didn't know what was going on, other than just embracing it by the game.
It is worth a play. I remember the story being really funny and just a good time altogether. I've no doubt it's
Yeah.
probably aged poorly because it was that sort of dude bro era of video games where it was a whole bombastic, overly machismo driven low drama. I've no doubt I'll play through it and go, ooh, I remember this being funnier. I remember this being cooler. But no, I mean I did a good few runs and started the single player campaign. I'm biased. I loved Bulletstorm when it released. I played it for a very, very, very long time. I just thought it was great. I really enjoyed what I played on it for the podcast here. What I played last week, I really enjoyed. It didn't change my opinion on the gameplay. I think the gameplay is really solid. It has its foibles and it has its weak quirks and stuff. But for a game, I really had a good time with it. What about you, Tom?
Yeah, it's one of those ones. It's very much a throwback game for me. It's also very much a game that is aged 13 years,
Mm-hmm.
and it shows.
Mm-hmm.
I probably am going to dip into the single player story as well, just because only for the fact that I'm having just hazy patches thinking about it. I don't really remember. As a challenge, I think you can't really ask for that. It's speedrun and challenge and score based. The arcade thing, as Cardinal says, it's just a great wee throwback. It's a great wee nostalgic element, I suppose. Even if you're not a big FPS fan, if you're big into your arcade kind of style games, absolutely ticks that box. I can't forgive a game that has X as your sprint button. It's that for me is probably a reason enough. I think the control scheme is a reason enough why that game doesn't get a sequel.
Wow.
That's harsh. I know.
Wow.
It's quite a harsh, hot take, I suppose we'll say.
It's the hottest,
But
spiciest of takes.
that's I don't know. It's there's being different, and there's like there's a reason that the control mechanisms in FPSs are the way they are because they're more accessible. I think trying to be quick and get a high score is not massively possible the way that they've got that control layout. And I did say middle of my challenge runs, can you change the layout? And it turns out you can. You just can't change the sprint
You can't
button.
move the sprint button. Yep. So
let me just tell you that the only correct controls for a first-person shooter is with a keyboard and a mouse.
No, incorrect. The only
that's also wrong.
The only true Control scheme for a first-person shooter on a console is bumper jumper from Halo. L1 to jump, R1 for grenades. That's all I'm saying. We've been doing this recently, so I suppose the last thing to talk about Bulletstorm before we get into the scores and stuff is, Cardinal, would you play it again?
No, but it's not because I didn't like it. It's just I've missed the boat.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that makes
That's fair
sense.
enough. Yeah. What about you, Tom? Would you play it again?
That's it. I'm gonna keep it on the hard drive. Like, see how far the campaign gets me before I go, this is really old. I'm a bit fed up. I'm gonna go play something a bit more modern. The problem is going back and playing it, then recency bias will take over, and something else will just fill the void instead of it.
Quite possibly. Quite possibly. I would.
Yeah.
I will play it again. I'm good. I plan to play through the story mode on it. Just because of my love of Bulletstorm knows no bounds. I will 100% play this game again. But I think now the time for talking about Bulletstorm has been done, and the time of reckoning has arrived for you, gentlemen. You have failed to stop me from winning a challenge for the 7th week in a row. It is a bad showing for everybody except for me. So here's how we're going to break down the scores here, okay? So we have 2 separate metrics, 2 separate scores. So for the scoring then, so who got the high score, who got the low score, the points are going to be handed out like this. Cardinal, you're going to get no points because you uploaded the wrong run. Sherry is going to get 1 point because Cardinal uploaded the wrong run. Tomahawk is going to get 2 points because he earned them.
Sherry didn't upload any run, and he's getting one.
Yes, but Sherry gave us his scores. Human error.
Scott's on her as well.
I scored 8,000.
Plus, I know that Sherry's score existed because when I set the score we just saw, the only person on the leaderboard was Sherry, and it was the score he sent me. He also sent me a screenshot, which we will put in the edit so people can see his gameplay. So we know he's not making it up. So as I said, so yeah, Cardinal, you're getting 0 points for score. Sherry's getting 1 point for score. Tom, you're getting 2. I'm bringing home the W, the 3 points. Beautiful. Now we go on to speed, the times, and the points are going to be handed out like this. Cardinal, you're getting no points. We don't know what your speed was in the other run. Maybe slower, maybe faster. We'll never know because even if you upload it, I'll never watch it. Sherry is going to get 1 point. I am going to get 2 points. And Tomahawk is going to get 3 points. So our combined scores for this week are getting no points is Cardinal, getting 2 points, Sherry, 5 points, Tomahawk, 5 points for me. And then after all this number crunching, this is what it does for the league table. In 4th place, sitting on 2 points, is Cardinal Smith. In 3rd place, with 4 points, is Sherry. In 2nd place, on 8 points, is Tomahawk. And leading the way, like I said I would, part 3 of the sport's easiest title retention is me with 11 points. Flying, gentlemen. What are you going to do to stop me?
I mean, what I've done is I've kept it at 3 points. I've stopped the clean sweep. As we say, a W is a W at the end of the day, but there's 300 points separating me and you in terms of our score, so that could have gone either way.
I see. You
really?
say that, but I do have a run that's uploaded
Yes.
before the deadline, and it is a vastly superior score. I just thought, you know what? Let's make it close. So Tom,
but it's interesting though,
for Tom's
because
feelings.
What do you want to do? Like, do you take speed, or do you take high score out of the equation and then hope that everyone else has done a slower run than you, or how do you strike that balance? I think like everyone's kind of within 20, 30 seconds of each other. Like, so, maybe one extra run, someone bumps up the league table, compresses it just that little bit more, really. But it's not to say that anyone's running away. Like, 3 points clear at this early stage. We've said this over the last couple of seasons now. It's you can't
It's
really
nothing.
be shouting home basically until game 8 or 9. Really, like
Yep.
we do take these to the wire in
Every season so far.
usual form,
Mhm.
exactly.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's tight. The actual like quality game and the fine margins are there, big time.
Oh, absolutely. My philosophy this season is it has always been really close. Season 1 was close, season 2 was close. Um, my view on it is if I win every week, it doesn't matter what you boys do because you can't catch me. That's my philosophy this year. Gone are the days of I think that's enough. Now I'm playing games until I know it's going to win.
That's enough.
This is enough. And
dear.
that's my philosophy this year. This is what you're up against. I did
Someone's
warn you.
taking this seriously.
Yeah.
I always take it seriously. This is serious business.
Serious black over here.
Oh, see that full-time job that he gets paid for. That's actually this high scores, high stakes is his full-time job. It turns
It
out.
subsidizes my podcasts. But as you can tell by our ridiculously high production values. But yeah, I think it's always going to be close, isn't it? I'm not going to win every week, but I will certainly try to do that, to do the impossible. Um, but yeah, I think. Do we have anything else to say about Bulletstorm or the challenge? Anything else?
No. I think great for the challenge. Great game back in the day. We'll
Good to
revisit.
mix things up.
Yeah,
Good to mix
that's
things up.
it.
Yeah,
Different
It's
kind.
an FPS without just blowing each other's heads off. I think really that's
and that's
a
it.
nice way to shoehorn one in.
And that's it. And speaking of shoehorning things in, let's get the wrap up section in here before it gets too compressed. That is it, gentlemen. Another episode all wrapped up. So we only have a handful of things left to do. So what we gonna do then? So first things first, because I forgot it last week, let's push this part up to the front here so I don't do it again. Next
Your new
week's
headphones.
my new headphones. You like them? They are
Oh yeah, very very slick.
superb. So they are. But our challenge game,
Challenge game.
for episode 4 is the return of a fan favorite. It is golf with your friends. And our challenge is going to be very, very simple. One round of 18 holes. With the same scoring system as always. Winner gets 3, second place gets 2, third place gets 1, fourth place gets nothing. But just to spice it up, to let you boys in with a chance of beating me at a game, I thought what we could do is give out a bonus point for each hole in one. So that
He is a
means
generous god.
if you get 18 holes in one, you're walking away with this challenge with 21 points because no one's beaten 18 strokes.
That is.
It has the
That's
potential.
high scores.
It has the potential to mix things up and maybe make it a bit more interesting for me trying to block your hole in one attempts. But yeah, next week, golf with friends. It'll be good crack. We'll play it all simultaneously
Definitely.
as well, and it should make for good viewing. So now that I've done something that I didn't do last week, let's do the things that I did do last week, such as the reminder of how to find us on social media. Easiest place is go to highscoreshighstakes.com. There you'll see links for Twitter, Twitch, Insta, YouTube, etc., etc. If you are going to Google YouTube, make sure to check out Cardinal Smith's 5-minute recap of week 1 of our Civilization playthrough. Next up, then, is our Discord server. If you want to join the conversation, jump in there. If you want to play Helldivers with us or any other listeners or any member of our community, get over there and make sure you do that. And what else? Oh, our challenge game. Let's do a quick recap. We did play more Civilization 6 this week.
We did.
So we did.
Yes.
I think we're up to about turn 70-ish, weren't we? We played for another hour. We'll do a wee,
That's it,
we'll
yes.
do a wee quick round robin of what we did or what happened if there was anything really. I'll start because my sort of side of things was quite slow moving. So I have built up my first capital city. I've done some. I'm currently building brick walls around it, and I established my second city as well, just to sort of I can have two things building at one time to sort of make life a bit easier for me. No wars declared yet. I did make very good friends with Russia. So his wee icon now on my right hand side of the screen has a smiley face because we are best mates now. um, and I think that's really it for my side of things. There was nothing much doing. What about you, Cardinal? Anything noteworthy?
Yeah, so for those listening, Russia is one of the AI players. So we've got four of us versus again alongside four AI players. I officially declared friends with Russia too. So I've got a nice smiley face with young Peter. No other AI whatsoever. I finally met Sherry. I'm yet to meet Tomahawk in the world. Surprisingly, what I have done is I have not got a big capital city, but instead I've got three little cities.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So there's a bit more spread, but they're very small. I think one of them is only a population of two,
Okay.
for example.
Just building
That's
infrastructure around everything then. Okay.
that's it.
Getting those roads up to boost your moving.
I've only got one trader. I've only got a capacity of one trader, so there's not much in the way of roads. But yeah, what about
We'll
you,
get there.
Tomahawk?
I have been on a exploration, so I've been teetering around Mr. John Sherry's borders for the best part of 80 turns, really. In that effort, I then discovered diplomatic relations with Mr. Luvva
You
Luvva.
did.
Here,
You did.
we are we're now good old chums.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very very cautious of starting wars with anybody because I forget that you can get penalized for that.
Yep.
So I'm very careful about which which little blocks I occupy and who I want to start little fights with because 9 times out of 10 it's a human player. An NPC I'm not massively bothered about, but I don't want warmongering to kind of kick me in the teeth in later turns potential, especially if we are still early doors. What else have I done? I have just been spent a lot of infrastructure really on Delhi as the capital.
Mm-hmm.
I've discovered the written word, and we're just kind of getting stuff done in the immediate area. Really, we're just expanding what we can and get a bigger sort of infrastructure before I send a settler out and hopefully establish another city soon
Okay.
in the next couple of turns.
Okay.
But slow burning are these early games.
Yeah, that's that. The games always start off quite slow, but yeah, we're making progress. We are making progress, and I'm sure at some point we're going to have to start vying for territory,
I
and that's
have a
when things.
picture of the current world rankings.
Yep,
In terms of the human players, we have Card away with 53
he
points.
is. Yeah.
Mr. Luvva Luvva on 41 points.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not too far behind on 36 points. And Mr. John Sherry is struggling, but I think he is having a lot of issues with
he
barbarians at his
is.
borders. He's in and around the 22 points mark. So, but as I say, it is early doors on this. We're sort of
So
in the
early.
first fifth of the game of our life cycle, at least anyway, if we get that
If
far.
we get that far.
What I find interesting though is Sherry has one of the strongest military scores
Yep.
That's it.
out of us, but he has the by far the lowest culture and science score. Uh, I I presume he has a city, but his score is so significantly lower than the
Yes.
rest of ours. I don't know if he's building
Established
anything, but
one.
I have a problem that I have a big fear that I have a feeling he's going to build and build and build his military, and what he's not going to establish, or he's not going to establish written word or spoken word or any kind of like major developmental problems or points. I think what he's just going to do is build an army, and raise everyone to the ground.
It's just going to be a wave of warriors with clubs
Exactly.
coming our way.
Exactly.
Taking
That's
us
what
out.
worries me. And I feel as if me and I think Luvva's not too far. I think we're kind of at equal distance either side of Sherry.
Oh,
I
really?
feel
Hmm.
I think one of us will pay for it first.
I probably, yeah. Well, you'll better tread carefully around me because I have discovered the wheel, and I have recently discovered how to make ships as well. So
Oh, fab.
I will be a naval force with ships with big wheels. But yes,
You're also building city walls, which I am only researching now.
yeah. A lot of the stuff I've done, I've focused a lot on getting the boosts for different sciences and stuff like that. Just make the building process a lot easier. But yeah, that is Civilization 6. That is week 2, Civilization 6 wrapped up. Cardinal Smith, of no doubt, will be putting up another video this week, sort of summarizing it in a nice wee 5 to 10 minute video. So make sure you do catch that on YouTube. And with all of that said, the last 2 things to do then is do our questions of the week. So our question of the week is going to be this. Because we played Bulletstorm, what better question than what is your favorite double A first-person shooter of the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3 era? Just to give you an idea of what that question means. I'm not going to put these two on the spot. My favorite double A shooter of that era was Left 4 Dead 2. So that's your question of the
Good
week.
choice.
What is your favorite AA first person shooter of the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3 era? And then our poll of the week is the classic: which of these first person shooter series is the GOAT? Is it Halo? Is it Call of Duty? Is it Destiny? Or is it Battlefield? As always, make sure you write your answers, make sure you cast your vote in the poll, and we'll read them out next week on the episode. And with all of that said and done, gentlemen, I have been Mr. Luvva Luvva. This has been High Scores, High Stakes. See you Monday. Love you all. Bye.
Bye.
Oh. Let me just get the old bubbly bubbly boo.
Oh, bibbly bobbly bo bobbly.
I'm the stat man.